Hi, welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday. My name is Koosje Koenen and I'm really happy that you're here. I like sharing whatever I learn on my creative journey and in my sketchbook habit, my sketchbook practice, and I hope that you get something out of it. You're here because you also want to bring everything into your sketchbook that you can and develop as an artist and as a person as well. Today I have a sketchbook tour for you. I think about 2/3 of this sketchbook I filmed in Edinburgh in Scotland. I was teaching a workshop there with Studio 56 Boutique, and you'll see a lot of demo drawings but also drawings outside of class. And then after that I had a few days off, which you will also see in the sketchbook. Let's dive in. This is a Hahnemühle Nostalgie sketchbook and the size is A5. And right away I am traveling. This is in Edinburgh. This is on the first day where we have our first class as well. And here I am practicing quickly for the second class, but first we visit the Edinburgh Castle, and I found these people who were costumed and they told a lot of fun facts about the time they were from. Margaret Tudor and King James IV of Scotland. Here I am practicing again for the afternoon session where we will paint first and then draw on top. But first there is time to roam around the castle, and I sat down with my packed lunch and drew my surroundings in line. And here we are doing color first and then line. Later that day, a small group of us went to see a friend who lives in Edinburgh, and we drew together. I loved sitting by the water with them. It was very quiet, and I'm quite excited about how this drawing turned out with the choices that I made of coloring and leaving color out. Here I also left color out, but added a little bit of writing because I just didn't ever want to forget about these chaps who were serving people their coffees and their sandwiches. It was just a good morning vibe. We're in the Palace of Holyrood, and in the morning I had to find a place where I could teach my workshop. It wasn't easy to find a spot, but I did a lot of drawings just to see if it would work. And here I did my spiral drawing technique, and everybody did really well on the exercise. Dinner in the evening and just a few notes that I took of what people were saying. And this is not quite in the right order because this was later than the drawing that follows. This was after class. There was this sort of witch's house on the premises, and a lot of us just really wanted to tackle that and draw it. And I also drew the sketchers. On the right hand side you see part of my demo. This is already the next day. As you can see, my workshops are packed with approaches to fill your sketchbook. This one is about filling your sketchbook first with panels and then use those frames to fill whatever you see around you. Here's a bit of a messy page with all kinds of bits and bobs and the bagpipe player. High tea, of course I had to capture that in my sketchbook. For this page I used some colorful collage. They are watercolor textures in different funky colors, and I drew on top of it with a brush pen, and then I also added crayon matching the colors of the paper. A quick drawing in the morning while grabbing a morning coffee, and here is the class about collage. I used collage pieces, again watercolor textures, And I chose colors that I usually would not choose, just to give myself an extra challenge. And it was wonderful to see how the students came up with these super colorful and funky drawings by the end of class. Lunch on my own. And in the afternoon, we went to the Writers' Museum, which was interesting, but most of all, outside was most interesting. I was there with a small group and we all wanted to draw the building. So we did. We spent quite a bit of time. It was a really wonderful way to spend the afternoon. Then we went for drinks before going to the farewell dinner. It wasn't the whole group because quite a few got COVID that week, which is just such a bummer. But luckily everybody's okay now and back home and healthy again. There was a huge line for coffee at the airport, which for me, of course, is a great excuse to draw people. Drawing my husband in a very awkward way, and then I'm back in my own town, drawing people and my own medieval surroundings. And more of that. Here's a drawing date with my group of drawing pals. I used coffee stains, and you know that I love doing that. One more drawing before moving on with the day. Drawing family is always fun. This was on my mom's birthday and I just really wanted to capture the moment. And I also took notes about what people were saying, just to remember. Then I went to this camping site where my husband and I rented a cabin, and it was just wonderful to be out in nature for a few days. Again, I used these pieces of collage with a watercolor texture. I don't love the blue, but I wanted to use it and make use of it. So this was a good challenge again, to find a palette and to find a way to work with this bright blue in these green surroundings. Lunch on a terrace. I don't often get the chance to draw animals. I never go to zoos, I don't have pets. So whenever I am close to an animal that is caged or that sits still for a little bit, then yeah, I do have to do a study. And here I did really quick studies. First a quick watercolor shape and then line, but they were moving, of course, so that was a challenge. Drawing my husband while reading. This one might be familiar because I shared the process of that on Draw Tip Tuesday. On this page, I started by drawing the two people at the bottom in brush pen, and then I was left with a lot of white space. So I decided to draw some panels and fill them in during dinner. And this is the last drawing. Sipping coffee, enjoying my surroundings in town, and exploring texture with colored pencil. I hope you enjoyed watching this and that it inspires you in some way or another. I just want to mention that in this sketchbook there's a lot of travel workshop stuff in there. And in 2025 I have quite a few travel workshops coming up. So if you would like to join me, draw together and explore beautiful locations, then check out my website. I would love for you to join one of these events. Also, I have online workshops, which is maybe a little bit more accessible. I do them every month, so check those out too. It's all on my website and I'm sharing the link in the description below this video. One of the upcoming travel workshops, which might be one of the highlights as well, is taking place in April. It's called Capture the Lisbon Wow, and it's all about exploring your creativity on many levels in your sketchbook. Tickets are limited, so if you want to join, follow the link below this video. Now, having said all that, sketchbook adventures can be done anywhere. You don't need to travel afar to have fun and explore. That's why my assignment for you this week, if you need one, is to go on a mini adventure. You can stay at home, you can go into your own town, you might want to visit a friend or go somewhere. Bring your sketchbook and explore. It doesn't matter what you draw, it doesn't matter what approach it is, as long as it feels like an adventure, and maybe you can nudge yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone here and there. And of course, the most important part is to have fun. I will see you next week. Bye!